Hi, I'm Jacqueline Rinksmeyer with the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Jared Fry, General Manager of Medina TV and Public Information Officer for the City of Medina.
We are pleased to partner with Medina TV with Jared Fry and Matt Tomick to bring you this Candidates Forum. Candidates in contested races were invited to participate.
The views expressed by the candidates during these candidate forums are not those necessarily of Medina TV or the Greater Medina Chamber of Commerce.
The goal of the Candidates Forum is to educate and inform, but you need to take the next step. Vote early at the Board of Elections or in person on November 4th. Thank you for taking the time to be an educated voter. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the 2025 Candidates Forum.
Joining us now in studio is Stephen Dimonski, a candidate for Lafayette Township trustee. And Stephen, thank you for joining us here today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. First, just take a few minutes and let the residents and viewers know a little bit about you.
Okay. I grew up in Cleveland, mostly Maple Heights and Garfield Heights area. That's where I grew up. I went to Holy Name High School, the old Holy Name, down on Harvard and Broadway. I ended up going to Cleveland State University. I have a BA degree in communications. And after that, I joined the police department in Garfield Heights. And I retired from there after I think it was there 16, 17 years. I got injured in the line of duty, so I had to retire. And after that, I taught 2 years in Remington College in their criminal justice program. I taught police investigation techniques and constitutional law.
Okay. Well, thank you for your service during that time.
You're welcome.
What made you decide to throw your hat in the political arena and run for trustee?
Well, I've lived in Lafayette for about 13 years now, and I've been going to the meetings for most of those years, and I've seen some things that I just didn't feel was right. I've talked with some people there, and I just felt we needed a change there. There are some things that I think are really going wrong, at least from my point of view and my philosophy on what government should be, and I just think things need to be changed. And I always thought that if you want something changed, you do it. Don't just talk about it, do it. So I thought I'd give it a shot.
And you talked about the role there. So what do you feel the role of a township trustee is?
The biggest role for a trustee is listening to the people. See what their concerns are, see what they want. Always remember that, in my opinion anyway, as a trustee, you don't work for the township, you work for the people of the township. And that's a big difference that a lot of people I don't think understand. So I see some things happening here where the people are getting shut out of the process. And I don't think it's right, and hopefully maybe I can do something about it.
I guess one of the biggest issues for the township out there, what are your thoughts on economic development in the area?
Well, to be honest with you, I moved out to that area from Cuyahoga County because I wanted the space. I didn't want my neighbors on top of me. And I do feel it closing in a bit now with all the new developments that are coming in. And at first I didn't like it. And I didn't want to see it happen. But after I got to understand why it was happening, it didn't make me happy, but I understand why it was happening. It was to kind of protect the township from sort of being gobbled up. So I guess it's a necessary evil. You have to have it. So.
And one of those areas as far as development is that innovative park area where it used to be the University of Akron down that area. That area has just never really quite got its footing. What would you like to see that area become?
Well, I know I don't really want to see industry come in down there myself, only because, number one, I don't think we have the infrastructure in that area to handle, say, semis and stuff. Plus, I don't think the people will be very happy. I don't really think you'd want to have houses back there either. Maybe an open space, a green space, maybe some parks. I just think in that area it's kind of secluded back there, so I think maybe that might be a good situation. I don't want to see it overdeveloped though back there. So.
And one of the biggest things as being a trustee is you work with the other trustees. How would you go in and set the tone as yourself as a trustee, as a newly elected trustee?
I think it's just being honest with them. letting them know where I stand on things, because as long as they know where I stand on things, and I know where they stand, I think we can have a dialogue and a conversation, try to get things worked out. I think that's probably the most important.
Yeah, and I think that is a big thing, is with such a smaller form of government, you're only looking at 3 trustees.
Yes, sir.
How do you work, I guess, towards an agreement, or at least towards a common ground, when you guys don't agree on an item or an agenda item?
Again, I think you have to go back and ask the question, not what I think should go there or what I think should happen. What do the residents of the township want? They may not be the same thing that I want, but if that's what they want, then I have to work toward that.
And then as trustee, how do you feel, if elected, you would kind of bridge that gap to keep the residents informed of what's going on in the township?
First and foremost, I think we need to change the way we communicate with the residents, especially at the board meetings. I've been going around the township talking with a lot of people, and one of their major concerns is that the majority of the sitting board right now doesn't listen to them. You go to the meetings, they've changed the rules of public participation, which is kind of shutting people down. The board members have members just shut you down, period. They have one rule in there where you can only talk once a night, which is kind of hard. If you get up early and you say you have something on your mind and you want to discuss it, then if something else comes up later that you want to, they won't let you. They'll say, no, you already been up once. Well, that doesn't do any good. That's just shutting people down. And so I think that's where it has to start, because that's the public meeting. That's supposed to be the voice of the public right there.
Now, one of the other items that come up is partnerships. Right now, I know Lafayette Township partners with the city of Medina for police to help assist with that. What do you feel about partnerships with either city entities, county entities, or even townships?
As far as with the police department, I kind of like what they're doing. Coming from law enforcement, I think Medina has a fine department, and I think they can give us a little better coverage than the sheriff's, only because the sheriff has such a wide area that they have to be responsible for. So I like that. Working with Medina is, I mean, it's always a good thing to work with your neighbors around there. You just have to watch and make sure that they're not, things don't happen where we start losing our identity as a township. And that's one of the things I kind of see happening, that I'd like to maybe at least slow it down a little bit. You know, let's stand back and say, okay, let's talk about this a little bit more. Because that's what the people want. Like I said, I've talked to the people out there, and they're really concerned about Medina becoming Cuyahoga County. That's what they're concerned with. That's why they moved out here. So.
Again, speaking with Stephen Dimonski, candidate for Lafayette Township trustee, what do you feel, if elected, is probably the biggest challenge you'll face when you first take office?
I think the biggest thing is we have to be a little bit more responsible with the taxpayers' money. Again, going around the township, the biggest complaint I've heard, taxes. People are saying we might have to move out of Lafayette because we just can't afford them anymore. Right now, Lafayette is the highest taxed township in the Medina County Public School Districts, which is Cloverleaf. And I give a lot of credit to Cloverleaf for what they're trying to do right now. And they're trying to roll back some of these taxes to reduce the tax burden on the residents. I would like to see Lafayette Township do the same thing for the residents if possible. You're not going to eliminate everything. If you can roll back some, give them a little bit of relief, I think the people would appreciate it.
Now, if elected, what's one of the first things you would like to try to accomplish as trustee?
I see an issue personally. I think you have to start everything at home before you spread out. And I think what we need in the township is we need more oversight on our internal departments. We have rules, things that need to be enforced, but right now we don't have anybody enforcing them. And unfortunately, I mean, I come from that background. Okay, if there was a rule, you obeyed it, and even if you didn't like it, you had to honor it. If there's a problem with the rule, then let's sit down and see if we can change it, if there's an issue with it. And again, I went to Catholic school my whole life. I was in the police department, so I followed rules. Okay, I had to. I had no choice. So I'm kind of a rules guy. And if there's a rule down, then I think we should follow it and enforce it.
One of the big issues that the township could face is with the city, which is nearby, kind of getting so full with residential housing, and the workforce in need of more workers and people looking for places to live. How do you find a way to make Lafayette Township look for maybe affordable housing for those people?
Well, I do know that the housing that's going in there now is rather pricey, some of the new stuff. I don't really know how. I'd have to look into it to see how we can get some of that type of affordable pricing or housing in there. Again, it's kind of a catch-22 because you bring in more housing, you're starting to squeeze people more, and people don't want that in this township. I've talked to them; they don't want it. So that would be something I have to look into. I really don't have an absolute answer to that one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, as you would look at your first term if elected, how would you deem that term a success?
If we can improve communication with the residents, if we can reel in spending and improve our communication with people. Right now, and I've heard this many times, there are actually people in the township who are afraid to come out and speak their opinion because they're afraid of retaliation on social media and other social platforms. And that happens a lot. And so people won't come to the meetings and everything. And I've been trying to encourage people, look, even if you're afraid of saying something out loud, say it with your vote. Say it with your vote, because that's the best way to do it.
Again, talking with Stephen Dimonski, candidate for Lafayette Township trustee. And Stephen, you've been gracious and have answered all the questions I've had for you here today. But I want to give you one last opportunity. If there's anything I missed or anything you want to tell the voters, I'll turn the camera over to you and you can.
Sure. All I can say is, if I get in, I'm going to try to work for the people, not township. I feel I'm a very approachable person. Even if you don't agree with me, come and talk to me, because we can talk issues out together. And that's my big issue, is let's communicate and get things done for the betterment of the township. Because I like this township. I moved out here and I like it. I don't want to see it change.
Great. Again, Stephen Dimonski, you'll see him on the ballot for candidate for Lafayette Township trustee. Stephen, thank you for putting your hat in the political arena, and I wish you the best of luck this November.
Thank you very much, sir.